All right, the second round is about to start, and Adam Silver must be rolling around in mud like a happy little pig because that first round was completely insane. One of the best first rounds I've ever seen in my NBA watching experience. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, we're gonna spend time talking about the second round today, but can I just please go back to the first round real quick and just go over all the matchups and explain to you why it was so insane? So first off, we had the Thunder at the Suns. That was a sweep. Well, that's the only matchup that was a sweep, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, you know. But you knew it was gonna be a sweep from the beginning. You knew it was gonna be a sweep. You knew the Thunder were gonna take out the Suns handily. Like it wasn't. It's not even fair. Like to the point where if the Thunder wins the NBA championship again, like, are you surprised? Are you really surprised? I'm not surprised. But that is what it is. So let's skip that. Lakers and Rockets, right? So I had the Rockets winning this series. I thought the Rockets would take care of it, especially without Doncic, without Reeves. I didn't think old man LeBron could hold it down, but old man LeBron damn sure held it down. And it's crazy because what does this say about Kevin Durant? What does it say about Kevin Durant? What is he doing with his life, with his legacy, with his career? Does Kevin Durant have any like any does he have anything going forward? Like he can't go he can't lead a team to the promised land. It's been proven. He can't lead a team. He's a great player, great shooter, but he's not a team leader. And I'm realizing that now and late in his career. And sad to say, he's had a great career, but it just knocks him down a peg or two. Personally, I think he's going to get knocked down a peg or two in the standings as top 10, 20, 30 greatest players. Kevin Durant definitely takes a couple steps back. But I mean, other than that, LeBron James takes a couple steps up because LeBron went from, damn near greatest player of all time to, almost, let's see what happens in round two, but he could be the greatest player of all time after this playoff run. Do I expect him to beat the OKC Spurs? Sorry, OKC City Thunder? No, I do not. However, let's be real here between me and you. Between me and you, if LeBron James, if LeBron James were to beat the OKC Thunder without Doncic, can we cement him as the greatest player in the history of the NBA? Can we do that, or do we still have a problem? All the Jordan stands, please speak up. If you're a Jordan stan, please speak up. I'm listening. Anyway, that Lakers Rockets matchup was great. It was amazing. It was fun. Lakers were up 3-0. Rockets almost came back, but the Lakers, they put their foot down, said enough's enough. We got this. And it was great. Let's see what happens again next year with Durant. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Who the hell knows? Fred VanVleet's going to come back. Maybe they were so much different without Fred VanVleet. They should have picked up a point guard when they had the chance. Somebody might have been laying around there, but I guess they wanted to go the route of Amen Thompson at point guard. And he's great, but he's really just a defender, man. He's not really a point guard. But I digress. I digress because I am just here giving you the facts and telling you how I feel. I am not a coach in the NBA, even though one day I would like to be. You never know. All right, so staying in the West, we got Nuggets, Timberwolves, and oh my God, that might have been the best series. That might have been the best series. You had everything. You had a lot of trash talk. You had some fights. Unfortunately, you had some injuries. You had close games. You had everything. That was a really good series. I had the Timberwolves winning from the jump. I said it. I said it on one of my videos. I had Timberwolves winning. I had them winning in 6 or 7. Ended up winning. What they win in? They won in 6. So they took care of business. They did their thing without DiVincenzo, without Edwards, and then at the end without Ayo. That speaks a lot. Now, do you blow up the Nuggets team going forward because they lost in the first round? They haven't really done much since they won that title. Or do you keep them together and just add pieces? They already got rid of Michael Porter Jr. I thought that was a big loss for them. I mean, granted, they didn't have Aaron Gordon. Yes, I know. But come on, man. The Timberwolves are missing 3 players, 2 starters. So come on. Let's be real here. But anyway, it was a great series. I thought it was, amazing. And Timberwolves won, and they're going to face the Spurs. And hot take, believe it or not, I got the Timberwolves winning that series too. I think the Spurs are a great team and they're a great story, but man, they are green in these playoffs. They're green. They don't have any experience. Timberwolves have more experience. They don't have the most experience, but they have more experience. Especially when Ant Edwards comes back. I feel like he's going to come back maybe game 3. Then they're going to take this. They're going to run, man. And there's some dogs, man. The Timberwolves are some dogs. Straight up dogs. I got the Timberwolves winning that series in 6. Yeah, I said it. In 6. Last on the West, we're going to talk about this briefly. Spurs and the Blazers. I ain't really going to talk about it that much. Not really, nothing really to talk about. Spurs beat the Blazers. Blazers, no one really believed in them or thought they had a chance. I sure didn't. They won one game, but then Wemby was out that one game because he had concussion. So they snuck that in there. But, Spurs won that easily. Moving on. There's nothing else to say about that. Pistons Magic. Did you think that was going to go to 7 games? No? Okay, me neither. I didn't think that was going to go to 7 games. I thought that the Pistons would have handled that in maybe about 5, but I was wrong. Pistons honestly should have lost that, but the Magic had the craziest choke job in the history of choke jobs, and it was just bad. They had a bad choke job, and there's nothing you can do about that because they choked really bad. So, and they fired their coach. Right after the next day. So go figure. I didn't think it was his fault. I didn't think Mosley needed to get fired, but they went up against the number 1 seed and they should have won. They had their chance to win and they blew it. So what do? You fire the coach? I wouldn't have done it, but I don't make the rules here. I just abide by them at times. That's it. Cavs and Raptors, 7-game series. That was a great series as well. No one expected the Raptors to make it 7 games against the Cavs. No one. Not even Cavs fans. Nobody in Toronto said it was going to be a 7-game series. And that's fine because, that's just what it is. We didn't believe in them, and, they proved us wrong. And they were missing Brandon Ingram for most of those games, so and they still did their thing. But that was a great series. I love that. That was amazing. Might have been the second best series in the first round. Second? Yeah, whatever. Maybe it might be a tie with the Knicks and Hawks. Speaking of Knicks and Hawks was a great series. Ended that in 6. The Knicks took care of them. And that final game where the Knicks took care of the Hawks, Jesus Lord. Oh, my God. They were up how much? How much were they up by? 50-something at the half. 59 was the highest. That was a crazy win. If the Knicks could play like that for the rest of the playoffs, there's no way they're not going to the finals. So we'll see if that was a fluke or not when they play Philly. But, coaching matters in these situations. So let's see if these coaches make adjustments, Nick Nurse and Mike Brown, what adjustments they can make going forward. And let's see what happens. Celtics at Sixers. Upset. Didn't see the Celtics losing that one. Sixers came to play. They're a tough team. I love the Sixers. They're great. Maxey is nasty and B is nasty. Paul George is playing like Paul George of old, which is great. And Edgecombe, he's a rookie, but he plays when he plays, but then he goes back to being a rookie sometimes. But that's fine. He's a rookie. What do you expect? Let him be a rookie. That's his thing. But that was good. They beat the Boston Celtics. All right. Let's move on to round 2. Let's start the East this time. I like the East. I kind of like the East matchups better than the West matchups for the second round. I think they'll be a little more entertaining. We got Pistons at Cavs, Detroit, and then we got Ohio. They're right next to one another. So I got, who do I have in that one? You know what? I just saw the way the Pistons played, and I don't necessarily like how they played. They didn't necessarily do what I thought they would do in the first round. So I don't think they're going to, do as well as they got beat. Let's be honest. They got beat up in the first round. They got pushed to the brink. Who's to say the Cavs won't push them to the brink? It's my dog right there. You see him? He's chilling. He's here every time I'm on this. So, man, this is tough. And then on the other side, you got the Cavs. I don't trust Harden for nothing. Harden is gonna collapse. I don't trust Harden. So, but then I love me some Jared Allen. Jared Allen's pretty good. Let's go Cavs. Let's go Cavs in 7, bro. I got Cavs in 7. Mitchell, Harden, he's older and wiser. Jared Allen, let's see. I got Cavs in 7. So let's see if that could work out. I think that could work out possibly. I got Cavs in 7. After that, Knicks and Sixers, man. This is going to be the game of the second round. This is going to be this is going to be the series of the second round. Knicks and Sixers. Maxi's going to go off. Nobody on the Knicks could guard Maxi. Maxi's going to average at least 38 points, and that's just a given. Embiid's going to do his thing, but then Mitchell Robinson is going to keep him at bay. I don't like the Embiid and Cat matchup. I feel like Embiid will take care of Cat. I'm not really a fan of that. Paul George looks like he's damn near back to stride. He's been doing well. The Sixers are scary, and then VJ Edgecombe, he does his thing, but he's a rookie. If he collapses, he collapses. He's a rookie. And then Oubre, hustle off the bench. Drummond, come off the bench, whatever. Okay, that's a good team. But the Knicks, however, let's not turn this into the Brunson show. Let's not turn this into the Jalen Brunson does everything show, because that's a surefire way to lose. And we don't want that to happen. So instead of turning this into the Jalen Brunson show, how about we spread the ball out? We really got to rely on OG Anunoby. I think he's an X factor, because you look at those starting lineups on both teams. What's happening? Who could really hold OG Anunoby in that starting lineup? Who could hold OG Anunoby? Because you got Maxey and Brunson, and I got Maxey winning that matchup. That's a given. Then you got VJ and who's that? Mikal or Josh? You got VJ and Mikal. Mikal should take care of that. That's easy. And then who else they have? You got Paul George. No, it's probably going to be VJ and Josh. But then you got, let's say it's Mikal. So then you got Paul George, Josh Hart. I like Paul George. I like him. He's great. But, I think Paul George would take care of him a little bit. But Josh Hart, he's feisty, man. He's tough. I got Josh Hart winning that. You go down low, you got Cat and Embiid, which is good. I like that. However, if I were the Knicks, I would do a double big lineup with Cat and Mitchell Robinson, and then I would make sure Mitchell Robinson is on Embiid at all times. I'm just typing something in here because I feel like that Embiid cannot handle Robinson as much. Now, mind you, Cat is more of an offensive player, understandably so. However, Embiid could run the defense on Cat. He could run the defense on Cat, and he could take care of him that way. So I feel like, no, I'm sorry. Mind you, Mitchell could run the defense on Embiid. I'm blanking here. So I feel like we should do the double big lineup, and we should definitely start Mitchell. And then anyway, go back to OG Anunoby. Who's guarding OG Anunoby? Kelly Oubre. Even if they switched up and they put Paul George and OG Anunoby, what's happening there? I like George, but George can't handle Anunoby. Not at this point in his career. He's great. He's still good, but he doesn't have it for OG right now. So I think OG Anunoby will definitely be the X factor here. He needs to do his thing and step it up all series long. And we got to run some plays for him. He's gonna have the advantage. He has the advantage in the starting lineup. So let's go OG. Let's go OG. All right, we can move on from this game. Obviously, I'm very invested in that game. Clearly, moving on to the West, we got Thunder at the Lakers, and again, man, the Thunder is just a great team, just a great organization, a great franchise. I don't really see the Lakers, winning here. Like, nothing in me sees the Lakers winning here. Maybe a game, maybe if they get lucky, if Doncic comes back. But I don't see the Lakers winning this. I call sweep. If Doncic comes, he'll keep it interesting. Hopefully he comes back at full strength. I don't know what his liabilities are. I don't know what he's limited to when he comes back. So let's see what happens. But I call sweep otherwise, and I hate to say it. Then we got the Timberwolves at the Spurs. I'm gonna tell you something. Real quick. I got the Timberwolves winning this series, and I got them winning it, pretty convincingly. I give them 5 or 6 games. 5 or 6 games. I said it. The Timberwolves have more experience. The Timberwolves are dogs. The Timberwolves are, a better team altogether, all around. And I got the Timberwolves winning this series. I love Wemby. I love Castle. It's a great story. They're great people. But, they're very green, man. They're such a green team right now. They have no experience in the playoffs. And people underestimate the fact that playoff experience really matters. It matters a lot. This is not a regular season game. Matchups matter. Coaching matters. Experience matters. So I have the Timberwolves winning this series. And if Ant-Man comes back sooner rather than later, then I have them winning it very convincingly. So, let's see what could happen here. I think it's going to be a good series either way. It's still going to be exciting. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be a good series. Most games might come down to the wire, or, the Timberwolves might just have fun and take them out. But I got the T-Wolves winning the series. Yep, I said it. Don't get fooled by the fact that the Spurs are a number 2 seed, because I got the T-Wolves winning the series. Anyway, the second round is about to start. There's a lot of good matchups that's going to happen. It's going to be fun. Adam Silver, I know you're happy as all hell right now. Stay happy, because, you've done a good job so far. This is great. And let's see what can happen, because, I'm very excited. This has been a really good start to the playoffs, and let's keep it that way. So, thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. Come back. Please like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. I got plenty of content for you. And, this is Odyssey the Game, and I'm Jay. Talk to you soon.